on January 4th and January 6th. Additional retailers and businesses targeted by Harper and his accomplices were located in the following locations: the 6100 block of West Diversey, November 26, 2021, the 1500 block of North Cicero, November 26, 2021, the 2000 block of West Division, November 26, 2021, the 3900 block of West Diversey, December 8, 2021, the 4900 block of West Fullerton, December 28, 2021, the 2900 block of North Broadway, January 6, 2022, and the 400 block of West Belmont, January 6, 2022. Harper, at the time of his arrest, had 4 active warrants for his arrest, 3 in Cook County and 1 in Lake County. And he is also suspected in dozens of additional burglaries involving liquor, electronics, and clothes across Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. A co-offender of Harper's has been previously arrested in an incident where stolen Burberry merchandise was recovered and returned to the store. There will be more charges and arrests to come in this case. We're going to arrest Harper's crew. This news comes on the heels of last week's arrest and charging of Carlos Valiant, as you remember, of Hammond, Indiana, who was one of the main men responsible for a smash and grab burglary at an auto dealership in the 800 block of North Rush Street. Valiant, on December 11, and other offenders entered the auto dealership, smashed a glass case, and forcibly removed 5 watches worth an estimated $1 million. Chicago Police Department detectives coordinated with the Hammond Police Department and obtained an arrest warrant and arrested Carlos Valiant without incident. That's Valiant, spelled V-A-L-L-I-A-N-T, Valiant. On February 3rd, Valiant was extradited to Chicago from Indiana and charged with a Class 1 felony for theft up to $1 million and a Class 2 felony for burglary. Both of these arrests and charges, and the many more to come, are due to the good work and collaboration between our officers, the Organized Retail Theft Crime Task Force, the State's Attorney Office, as well as other law enforcement partners across the region. They followed every lead and utilized every tool at our disposal, including technology resources such as license plate readers and pod video cameras to track these offenders. We have doubled down on an all too important partnership between law enforcement, State's Attorney, and the State's Attorney's Office and the business community. Local businesses are steadily working side by side with the Chicago Police Department. We share the same goals of ensuring residents and visitors can patronize any establishment without worrying for their safety. The department would always work to maintain open communication, advise on safety measures and other strategies moving forward. Just as with every community, our collaboration with every business is key to our city and our safety. With that, I would like to turn it over to State's Attorney Kim Fox. Kim?
Thank you, Superintendent. Defendant Harper appeared in bond court earlier today. He was given a bond of $200,000 and special conditions of bond, which included not to be anywhere near the places in which he is accused to have committed his offenses. I'm here today, once again, with the Chicago Police Department to thank them for their collaboration in working with the State's Attorney's Office to bring these charges forth today. The Cook County Regional Organized Crime Task Force is something that I'm very proud of our office's participation and leadership in. CC Rock, as we call it, is a collaboration between law enforcement agencies, both here in the city of Chicago and throughout Cook County, as well as the business community, who work collaboratively to address issues of organized crime, particularly organized retail theft. This collaboration has existed for a number of years, and I think today's arrest and charges speaks to how effective this collaboration can be. I want to point out, as the superintendent has stated, that a number of the offenses in which this defendant has been accused have occurred not just last week, but over the course of several months. There's this belief that if we don't catch someone, or if an arrest is not made within the first 24 hours or so, that that person is somehow free and clear. What I hope that today's announcement shows is that there is a relentless pursuit of those who engage in this type of behavior, a relentless pursuit that may sometimes take days or weeks or months. But because of the strength of this collaboration, we will be able to apprehend you and prosecute you to the extent of the law. And so once again, I want to thank the law enforcement partners here at the Chicago Police Department, the members of the Cook County Regional Organized Crime Task Force, as well as the business community who have been strong partners in this work. They are not simply victims of crimes, they are actual partners in leading for communities to be safe for everyone, and we applaud them for that. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Kimberly Bears, who is the president and CEO of the Magnificent Mile Association. Kimberly?
Thank you. And thank you, Superintendent Brown, for inviting me here to represent downtown retail businesses on behalf of the Magnificent Mile Association. Today's announcement demonstrates the solid police and detective work of the Chicago Police Department and signals to criminals that retail theft will not be tolerated on Michigan Avenue, nor anywhere in Chicago. Some people mistakenly think these are victimless crimes, but these crimes have real victims. The employees and customers physically present in stores during crimes who are put in harm's way, companies that lose millions of dollars in stolen merchandise, and the people, most importantly, the people who rely on city, county, and state-funded programs like after-school care and mental health services when those budgets are negatively impacted through lost sales tax. Worse yet, retailers could choose to shorten hours, relocate, or close altogether, threatening the nearly 250,000 jobs our district provides to Chicagoans from every ward. I can't state strongly enough how much we appreciate the open communication and regular updates we receive from Commander John Hine of the 18th District and Deputy Chief Jill Stevens from Central Command. We're able to share real-time information with our members thanks to that open communication. We know that CPD officers throughout this great city put their lives on the line every single day to keep us safe and protected, and we thank them for their service and dedication. We will continue to do our part to ensure our district is safe and welcoming by advocating for prosecution and appropriate sentencing. And we're committed to working together to ensure that criminals don't have the opportunity to continue to commit crimes with impunity. Thank you.
Before I take a few questions, I just want to highlight the work done by particularly one of our detectives. She was very relentless in making sure this case was brought forward. She made sure that we all collaborated. She immediately contacted the task force. She worked with the state's attorneys, the assistant state's attorneys on this case from day one back in November, ensuring that this case was charged appropriately to the fullest extent of the law. And finally, to criminals, I think State's Attorney Kim Foxx alluded to this. We are not just going to let you get away with these crimes. Chicago is not a lawless city, and you will be brought to justice and charged to the fullest extent of the law. We want to make that clear to you, that we're working together to ensure that happens, that because it didn't happen in 24 hours or 48 hours, doesn't mean we are deterred from pursuing you and bringing you to justice. You and everyone associated with this crime, you and your crew, your accomplices, and anyone that assisted you in committing these crimes. We are going to be relentless in that pursuit. And with that, I'll take a few questions. Harper is the ringleader. That would be an accurate assessment. He's the ringleader, but he's not the only one. So there are various accomplices. We don't want to give away too much right now because we are actively pursuing others to bring to justice. So we're going to leave it there so that our detectives can be successful in capturing the rest of the crew. Yes?
How was Harper identified?
So we use pod video technology, and there is a specific identifier that identifies Harper. We don't want to give that part away, but yes, he's easily identified on video at various locations, putting him on the scene along with other corroborative evidence. A physical identifier that distinguishes him on video. Any other questions? We don't have that corroborated yet. We still have some investigations to do, particularly in bringing these others to justice. So we're just going to withhold other evidence that might piece this together and give away our case for others that we might charge later.
Would it be fair to say?
Yes. Right. Yes. Any other questions? You got another one?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Good.
I'm wondering.
I don't know what they knew at the time, other than they knew they were taking property that didn't belong to them. So they are fully culpable in this burglary that we're charging them with. To the extent of where they were doing whatever crime, I don't have that, nor does that matter much to us. Yes? We don't have that connection, but again, for other types of crimes similar to this, a lot of adults, criminals use young people because they know they won't be charged similar to an adult being charged. That doesn't appear to be the case here, but again, we have some more pieces to put together here, some more people to bring to justice. Some may be under adult age, so we'll withhold concluding that no juveniles are involved. There may be a few, but we don't know that at this point. Yes? It's quite satisfying to a certain extent, but also frustrating. And I'll say it this way, you know, the idea that Chicago's a lawless city, that narrative is I don't know, as wrong as 4 flat tires and a bad transmission, I guess. I mean, it's just wrong all the way around. Because Chicago is very much a city that will hold criminals accountable. But when you see the smash and grabs on video and they're played in a video loop on the news feeds on a regular basis, you know, it just has this appearance and perception that we're pushing back against. I think that's important that you see us all standing here together to ensure that the messages to the public and to businesses that you have law enforcement working together with our prosecutors, the state's attorney, and with businesses to bring people to justice. And we are not sitting on our hands, sitting back wondering what we can do. We are working these cases from the jump, and we are putting together the pieces of technology, video, license plate readers. We're looking for these prolific repeat offenders that are on our radar, and we are bringing these charges forward. And the state's attorney is working with us from the very beginning to ensure we have all the evidence we need to make a strong case so that we can have these charges come to fruition at, sooner rather than later. So, you know, this started in November, and it's the beginning of February. That's obviously a long time, but at the same time, justice oftentimes is an attention to detail, and you have to have the evidence to be able to bring charges. You can't just have a prolific offender without the evidence. And so that's what takes the time and creates the frustration. But when we do get it across the finish line and get charges, our detectives should get accolades for their hard work. And so that is the satisfaction that detectives see that their hard work ends up with the result of someone being charged and having a consequence to their behavior. One last question. Go ahead. Yeah, similar burglaries, thefts, smash and grabs. He's a prolific criminal thief and finally taken off the streets of Chicago. Last question, please. So again, let's slow down and take the one that's just happened. Those are actually two cases, and Chief of Detectives Brendan Lenahan will give you what update we can because this is pretty fresh. This happened just a few minutes ago, and we know we have deceased, but we'll give you a little bit of an update, and then we'll likely have to get with you offline for the other case. All right? Okay.
So as the superintendent mentioned, I know you said you have crews over there, so this is all extremely preliminary, and the information is, obviously subject to change. But there is one individual over there who is deceased, and then the detectives working with the officers, there was a great response by the district officers, and there are two persons of interest that we have in custody that we are going to start interviewing regarding this incident. We don't know if they're the actual offenders at this time, but we do have them in custody. I don't have the address of arrest. I don't have that at this time.
All right. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we'll get that to you. Don, can you spelling of her, Ms. Baer's name, and then we'll be good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
You're talking about furlough, right?
Correct.
The
Yes,
theft.
yes,
Yes.
covered that. That's-
Yeah,
yeah, that's for
you
10.
guys covered that a million times.
Okay.